Hello, 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 and welcome to the World Series of Poker Online Bracelet. I take the baton from the one and only Jeff Platt. I'm David Tuchman. Thanks for joining us. We are down to our final eight. And of course, event number 24, the $400 no limit hold'em, 8 max, 2,408 entries in all in this one. And we are down to our final 8 players, some big names at the final table. We'll get into all that in a second. No guest tonight. It's Friday night, so my guest is you. That's right. My guest is the chat. So what's up, Zeke in 100, Toy Story 24, C. Calcano. That's right. Chat favorite. He is here each and every night. That is Calc Father. Bottom right center of your screen with 1.3 million. C. Calcano. Chat, give him some love. He is at the final table playing for a bracelet, playing for $133,000. Action is on. Calc Father right now. He folds. Audio Surf, what's up? One Mark Maker. It's my strong arm. Oxide Lounge. James DeBear. What's up, Shift 1980? Thanks for joining us. Adopt a Dog. Heaps and heaps of chips. We've got some commentator run good. Way back in the day, we used to call it Black Booth Mojo because we had the Black Booth inside the Amazon room. Well, right now, we're in my office. And the studio, of course, is in Vegas. And the guests might be home. But nonetheless, the run good commentator luck continues. Adopt a Dog, that is Ryan Lang. He has a bracelet to his name, 1.5 million in lifetime earnings, and he joined me as a guest. So he is here with just under 10 million chips. Another player who also getting some commentator run good is Matt Berkey, Burke11, solve for Y, up in the top left center of your screen with 3.6 million chips. He is actually streaming on YouTube on the Solve for Y channel. If you guys want to join that, that's cool. I get it. As long as you're watching World Series of Poker, I don't care where you're watching it. No big deal. What's up, Jim Lad 999? Ryan Lang in there. We have 2 players at this final table in the chat. Ryan Lang and, of course, C. Calcano. Good luck to both of them. Go through the rest of the table. Matt Berkey, of course. No bracelet, 38 years old. Good athlete, baseball player. I've had him on my podcast. Great guy. Obviously, plays high rollers. 4.1 million in lifetime earnings. Still looking for that elusive first gold bracelet. Calc Father all in. C. Calcano all in here for 1.2 million. And there's the call. And unfortunately, the run is over. C. Calcano, well done. A final table on your poker resume. Unfortunately, the ride is over. He'll take home $14,216 for his efforts. GG indeed. Give him some love, chat. As you can see, blinds are 100,000, 200,000. Like I said, every Friday night, no guest. It's just me and you. You are my guest. So let's bring it. I adopted, said, what's up, Tuck? Everyone doing all right tonight? Certainly looks that way, especially if you're at the final table. C. Calcano, our first casualty at this final table. Unfortunate. Try to stay objective here, but, you know, C. Calcano is with us night in, night out. Guy is an absolute crusher. Back in 2017, by the way, he finished 11th in the Magic World Championships. And just you can just tell from the chat, he's just a good guy. So anyway, congratulations, man. Ryan Lang's going to raise it up here. Bansman, that is Mark Bansamer, who's going to call Ace Queen 10. Rainbow flop. Pot is 1.1 million. Moromo Pelli says, hey, David, it's 11 o'clock in the morning here in Italy. I'm watching with a good cup of coffee. Could you give me a shout out? And all Italians, I don't do shout outs. But hey, to all of Italy, I love Italy. My grandma was Italian. Oh, look at Ryan Lang, the gamesmanship. He shows the 7 high. Go through some of the other players at this table. Abnormality, that is Norman Mikulek, who has a circuit ring to his name. Don't know anything about Samadhi, but we'll see if we can find out more about other players at this particular table. Ryan Lang, by the way, is all in here. Obviously, he has both players in the blind covered, and he is now up to 10.9 million chips. So Ryan Lang is not our chip leader, but he might have the best seat position at this table, as he is on the chip leader's left. And a crazy dynamic, as you can see, we have chip leader 1, chip leader 2, and then everyone else. Berkey, I don't know how concerned he is with ICM, but he has a terrible seat draw at this final table. Another raise from Adopted Dog, Ryan Lang. The people want to know, Ryan, have you shaved your head yet? Or do you still have that beautiful flow there? Bravo Lima 09 is representing Italy in New Zealand. I Adopted said, did you find someone for that Pirates bet, Tuck? I did. Fallow in the chat, and of course, Norman Chad. I've got the Pirates under 25.5 wins. We're looking good. So far, 0-1, baby. All in here from Eric Shun. I see what you did there, Eric Shun, and I'm not going to fall for it, okay? I don't care how much your stack grows. I am not going to fall for it. GT Robot 3000 says, I hope Berkey wins. He has never won a bracelet. Ryan 89 asking how I am. I'm good. I'm great, man. I'm here for the World Series of Poker. It's a late start tonight. I was wondering how long Jeff Platt would go, how many tequilas deep he would get. Of course, if you guys are missing his streams, he is just absolutely crushing it. Twitch.tv/Jeff Platt. Whether it's wine, tequila, usually it's Pinot, Platt, and poker. The last couple of nights, though, it's been tequila, Platt, and poker, which, by the way, still ridiculously entertaining. Samadhi and Adopted Dog, Ryan Lang, battling in this one. This is chip leader versus chip leader. Pot is 4.2 million. The winner of this pot will be our chip leader. And this is the old triple barrel from Samadhi. And Ryan Lang goes away. Samadhi up to over 14 million chips now, 14.9. GT Robots, his Platt was awesome. He is. He's amazing. He just crushes it every night. What's up, Hacks 1981? Thanks for joining us. Gunner Poker, having a good series as well. So Abnormality, who is now in the cutoff seat with 1.78 million chips. That's Norm Mikulek. Says a recreational poker player playing professional hours. From Utica, New York. Was actually born up that way. Went to college up that way as well. Has 434,000 in career earnings. Has a circuit ring, as I mentioned. Looking for his first bracelet. In fact, all the players at this table are looking for their first ever World Series of Poker bracelet, except, of course, Adopted Dog. Ryan Lang has one. Stozy Poke says, Tuck, you need to have Lang take over for you one of these nights so you can play and get that booth run good. In all fairness, I dropped the ball on this. I could play any night if I wasn't in California. If I had planned ahead and rented, a cabin in Lake Tahoe on the Nevada side, because remember, you don't have to live in Nevada. You don't have to live in New Jersey. You just need to be there. So this is on me. If I had not dropped the ball, I could have played any night. And I don't think it would have been that difficult for me to be like, hey, Jeff, can you just continue the show because I made the final table? I need weed, says Why No Hockey Jersey. I don't know. I've got my I Choose Tacos shirt on tonight. Samadhi up to 17 million chips. That pot versus Ryan Lang was really significant. Kind of puts Samadhi in a good spot where he can really be aggressive. I mean, obviously that was the case before, but when he was close to Ryan Lang, you've got to worry. You've got one of the bigger stacks behind you. But now that he has adopted dog covered by so much, he can really be aggressive and not worry about Ryan on his left as much. Gunner Poker says, for real, Tuck, these tournaments need your presence. You just want my money in there, right? I know. Dead money. I get it. I mean, you guys had 2,408 entries. You really needed my $400? Alan Kessler cashed in his first World Series of Poker event. I'm sorry, cashed in his first World Series of Poker event this summer. Got a min cash. He was in for $800, but hey, Chainsaw, well done, my man. I know a lot of you, Chainsaw thinks that I am down on him. I actually love Alan. Here's a little, I'm going to pull back the curtain. If I make fun of you, it's because I like you, generally speaking. If I don't like somebody, I just ignore them. What's not to like about Alan Kessler, really? The Chainsaw. But Alan Kessler got the Kessler cash tonight. Ace 10 versus King Queen. Berkey all in. Oh, no, you don't want the 10. Did not want a pair there. Eric Shun eliminates, virtually doubles up there, eliminates Matt Berkey in 7th place, $18,637. Headed over to the Solve for Why founder. The man from Pittsburgh, the baseball player, the high roller, all-around good guy. Matt Berkey finishes in 7th place. He will have to wait another day for that World Series of Poker bracelet, and then there were 6. Norman Chad in the chat. What's up, Norman? Norman, everybody wants to know why you aren't in the Jeff Platt chat anymore. They miss you. Wavy Gaming TV says, Tuck, you look very handsome tonight. Thank you very much. It's hard to look this good at 1:52 in the morning, you know. GT Robot 3000. Solve for why I still haven't won a bracelet. I'm sorry, that was funny. Aloo. Sevens versus King 8. King or an 8 eliminates no, and Aloo. Doubles up to 3 million chips. Unfortunately, we don't know anything about that particular player as of yet. If you know any of these players, don't just come out and be like, that's Doyle Brunson, that's Mike Sexton. Okay. If you legitimately know, I mean, you're my guest tonight, so I'm counting on you guys. If you know somebody in the game that we don't know, let me know. Wavy Gaming says, just had my biggest live cash tonight in Eugene, Oregon. You're playing live poker, Wavy? Be careful, my man. All in from Abnormality. Does he get called? Once again, that's Norman Mikulek, circuit ring winner. I've been told he's a beast. Speaking of beast, we had Bistro in here. He made a really deep run. I was getting the lowdown from Jamie Kerstetter, who apparently they were roommates way back when. Rumor has it, Bistro and Chris Hortsky fought over Jamie Kerstetter. Hortsky won, prevailed, winning Jamie Kerstetter's heart. All of that was a lie. But it sounds good, right? Isn't it a good story? I like it. P-Man Price says, I'm going to bed. Good night and good luck to all. Apparently, you've had a couple of too many glasses of wine, my friend. Come with us. Join us back tomorrow night, man. We'll be here. Enjoy LV says, is this real money or Monopoly money? Well, it's neither real money or Monopoly money. It is tournament money. These are tournament chips. You pay $400, you get 15,000 chips. Ace 5 versus pocket 3s. Whole bunch of outs here for Samadhi. But the 3s hold. Bansman. That is Mark Banzimer. He gets the full double up. Let's see if we can find that a little bit of my friend Mark here. Mark Banzimer 121,000 in career live earnings. His 7th cash of the series. Hasn't won a tournament in over a decade. This would be a great way to kind of to end that streak, right? The remaining 6 players all guaranteed $24,706. AudioSurf says basically every 15,000 chips represents a crushed soul. I think that's genius. Okay, here's my idea for you guys. What do you think? I think in a knockout tournament, when you win somebody's bounty, they should actually have like it should be like them in the chip, right? Not their soul, because I don't think we know how to do that from a technological standpoint. Not yet, at least. But wouldn't it be cool if it was like their video likeness? Like, imagine you knocked out Jamie Kerstetter and she had to give you her chip, but in her chip, it was like her going, ah, right? How cool would that be? And you could keep these bounty chips forever. I mean, it's not unlike the bounty tournament that they have, the Shooting Stars, where you get like a T-shirt, like I knocked out so and so. But imagine it was each person video had a little, their little bounty chip. And of course, you're gonna have some people that are like, "Hey man, f you, I don't care, whatever, I don't want to put." But I think it would be fun. I don't know. What do you guys think? Les Paul, Jeff, that is not true. Not true at all. Players are obviously on a break. I don't believe in breaks. We're here. I mean, in all fairness, these shows are only like an hour and 20 minutes long. I wouldn't feel right taking a break. Okay? The groupie says, but imagine if it was their actual soul. That would be even better, right? I think that would be super cool. I got to tell you, the World Series of Poker, we have been blessed this summer with some fantastic final tables, whether it's Joe McKeon, Tony Dunst, Chance Corneth, some huge names making these final tables. Connor Drynan, Chris Moorman, the list goes on. And tonight, of course, Ryan Lang and Matt Berkey. Jimmy Bluffett says, how many sports jerseys do you own? I'm setting the line at 17. See, that would be a fun Laden Thinks game, right? I think that would be a really, really good Laden Thinks. While obviously the world is not all better, at least here on July 24th, now July 25th, depending on where you are in the world, we've got sports back to a degree. Baseball is back. Hockey's coming back in a week. The World Series of Poker is here, which is all amazing. Obviously, we have, I believe, 7 more tournaments after today. We finish on July 31st. I've got a great slate of guests coming up. Tomorrow night, I've got Bustin' Balls. I've got the Poker Guru. I've got Robert Kuhn joining us as a guest. On Monday night, I've got Chris Moorman, the legend that is Chris Moorman. He'll be joining us. And I have just confirmed, somebody asked me to do this, so we did it. You guys wanted her? Maria Ho will be joining us for the final main event here, which is the 1K buy-in. That's July 31st. Interestingly enough, Maria asked me, she goes, is this audio or video? And I said, the chat will riot if you are not on video, right? Absolutely. In terms of notables that made a run here, I am looking in the chat, guys. Robert Kuhn cashed again. He is still leading the overall 100K leaderboard. See if we can pop that up maybe. Art Vandelay, Jonathan Dockler having an amazing series. He cashed. He's top 10. Roland in Israel Ashvili cashed again. Kevin McPhee. Alan Gehring, who won his first bracelet earlier on. Daniel Negreanu with another cash, but not a top 30 finish this time. Jason Somerville, Joe McKeon, Eric Baldwin, all cashing. As I mentioned, Alan Kessler cashed as well. The groupie says, is there going to be live coverage of the GG World Series of Poker Series also? They're doing something. I am not doing it. I think there's going to be some stuff going on at PokerGo, maybe once a week. I know some people are going to be streaming some various final tables here and there. I think Jeff Platt has plans on doing it at least 2 or 3 days a week, which would be pretty awesome. So, all good stuff. What is up? Oh, Ivan Zarate in the house. What's up, my man? Quarantine is treating me as well as it could be. You know, I am certainly not in a position to complain. I'll put it that way, right? Geddes Cooper, all well. DW Poker, your boy. Is that David Williams? What's up, David? Hey, David, do you know C. Calcano from the Magic World? What's up, Shitty Gambler? How are you? Speaking of shitty gamblers, I every year I make a few bets on hockey, make a couple of sport bets here and there. This year, last year, my bet of the year was the under 59 wins for the Baltimore Orioles. They were just drawing dead, even after starting off like 4-1, drawing dead. Just easy money. Made a bet with Norman Easy Money Chad, and that was a lot of fun. This year, I've got the under 25.5 wins for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Again, Norman Chad. There's a sucker born every minute, right? Ryan Lang, by the way, in the chat. David Williams, the beast that is. Ace 5 versus the 8s. And Ryan Lang wins a nice little pot there. That's a pot he really needed. Action on Bandsman. Mark Banzimmer. Blinds now 120,000, 240,000. We got an all-in from Lou. Stop me when you understand. Abnormality. Thinking about what to do in the small blind. Eights, ace, queen, ace, queen. There's a set of eights. A 10. Makes a straight for both players. That's not a 10. Eight's full. And Lou with the triple up. Abnormality. Down to crumbs. He's got one big blind. Once again, that is Norman Mikulek. He's going to have to pull a rabbit out of the hat if he wants to get back in this one. We get a raise here from Alou, who's now on 5.8 million. There's the all-in from Abnormality. And a call from Ryan Lang. We've got a side pot. The main pot is $1 million. The side pot is 476,000. Check, check. Pair of threes for Ryan Lang. He's up to 10.7 million, and we are down to 5 players. We lose Norman Mikulek. Abnormality in 6th place. He takes home $24,706. Wavy Gaming saying 10 didn't give a straight. Okay, unless I'm seeing things, and there's always a chance. Always a chance. They had ace queen. The flop was king jack. Now, unless poker has changed, I'm pretty sure 10 jack queen king ace is Broadway, right? Yeah, I thought so. I make mistakes all the time, and you guys are my guests tonight. So if you're pointing out one of my mistakes, I have to pay attention to it, right? But Wavy, I appreciate you are on it, okay? Not only was one player drawing to a straight, both players were. I got to tell you, if you've got pocket eights, you got a small pair like that, and you get called in 2 spots, to have both players have the same hand is just beyond brilliant and lucky. I mean, you're running good then because you're kind of hoping you're only up against 3 overcards and not an overpair or 4 overcards. But to have them share the cards, it's just suddenly, that is just a glorious situation to be in. Norman Chad, Tuck's biggest mistake daily, waking up. Norman, that's not nice. If I don't wake up, that means I'm dead. I mean, I know sometimes we don't see eye to eye on things, but really, has our relationship gotten to this level? I still love you and your money. Norman Chad money. I still have Norman's money from last year. Here, I'm going to show it to you guys. This is Norman Chad bucks. Sleevey says, no, DW Poker says comedic gold from Norman Chad. David, do not encourage the man, please. Blinds 120,000, 240,000. Samadhi, going to limp in. Ryan says, okay, let's see a flop. 10 high flop, no suits. Pot is 638,000. Bishop says, Tuck is man. Will you play the World Series of Poker main? No, unfortunately, I'm here. Now, I mean, listen, if there is a live main event in November and I feel like it's safe to play, I will almost definitely play in it unless I'm working it. But I have played the World Series of Poker main event 6 times, and it is a tournament like no other. Honestly, if you're a poker fan, and I assume if you're here, you're a poker fan. Otherwise, it's just you can't sleep. You were kind of scrolling through YouTube or Twitch or Facebook, and you're like, hey, what's this? I'll watch. Who's that guy who says, I choose tacos? I'll watch him. But I'm going to assume that most of you are poker fans and poker players. And if you are, I can tell you wholeheartedly, bucket list, get in the main event, figure it out. Do a home game satellite, sell action. Samadhi, Bandsman looking like he's in really, really good shape to double up, and he is now for sure. Look at Samadhi, though. Actually hits his 7 and his king, but obviously no good. Bandsman up to 2.5 million. Samadhi now down to 10.7. Ryan Lang in the chip lead. See how that changes the dynamic here. Mike Johnston, 1981, says, Norman Chad, can you do the Uka Luka for us on stream sometime? Yeah, Norman has been part of that, of the PokerGo World Series of Poker recap shows. Obviously, they're desperate for content. I mean, Ali Najad and Maria Ho are killing it. But, I mean, if you're going to go to Norman, I guess they must have called like a dozen others, and they were like, okay, fine, we'll take you, Norman. But, Norman, why don't you do an Uka Luka for them? Norman, of course, got a new puppy. He named him Blue. I need weed. Says, Tuck, can you sweat my $5 tournament? Absolutely, man. Just let us know how you're doing. When this is done, we'll head over there, and we'll call the action on that one as well. Hello, Melbourne. What's up? Who's bad? Dan Bads. Oh, hey, what's up, man? Good morning to you. Good morning to everybody. Where are you guys? Jai 210 says it's 4 in the morning in Texas right now. Yeah, I've had a few people that I've wanted to use as guests who are like, dude, it's 5 in the morning where I am. I can't stay up that late. What's up, the Mayor Pete? Plato Poker. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. 7 high flop. Once again, the chip leaders battling. And if you're a Lou, if you're Eric Shun, if you're a Bandsman, you're loving this. You're thinking, okay, maybe something crazy will happen and we can ladder up, right? Good morning, Canada. Where are you in Canada, King Dodds? It's a big country. Are you like Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary, or are you more like Toronto? Ryan Lang's going to win that with a pair of aces and nines. Not a huge pot, up to 12.4 million. All in. Tough spot for Bandsman. He is our short stack, but still huge pay jumps to consider. Again, these 5 players, all guaranteed just a tad under $33,000. First place is 133, and of course, the bracelet. Bandsman, by the way, again, that is Mark Bansimer, his 7th cash of the series. And the cool thing about this is he won a $30 satellite for his seat. So he has parlayed that $30 into at least $32,941. I'm not the best at math, but I'm going to go on a limb and say that's a pretty good ROI. What do you guys think? Alou, by the way, min cashed event number 23. That was yesterday. His only winnings, or her only winnings, on 888 New Jersey. Same story for Eric Shun, who won $100 in event number 23. Also, their only 888 New Jersey cash. Oh, and that's not even a min cash. That was actually a bounty. So he won a bounty, but didn't min cash. So still good news. Royal Stars 27 says, who sattied? That was Bansman, Mark Bansimer. Has 121,000 in lifetime earnings. 251,000 though on 888 New Jersey. So over $250,000 he has won online. And again, he is playing in this tournament for just $30. Satellites are just such a great way to get into these, higher buy-in tournaments. And it's all relative, obviously. Yes. Mantis Roger. I am aware of Eric Shun and what he is doing here. I am on to his game, and I will not fall for it. Audio Smurf says, Guru is going for player of the year, by the way. Yeah, no, he is. Robert Kuhn is absolutely killing it. He is number 1 in the 100K WSOP leaderboard. He will also be joining me tomorrow night for commentary. So those of you who are PokerGO fans, make sure you join us. We're going to have him on. I've got Chris Moorman on Monday. Thank you, man. Mr. Roger. I appreciate that. Blinds 140,000, 280,000. Eric puts his entire stack into the pot and does not get called. He's up to 4.1 million. Umis says, Eric is hard to play with. Yeah, I've never played with Eric Shun, but he certainly seems like he's got game. Action on Ryan Lang. Adopt a dog. Says, adopt this dog. I'm all in. 13.3 million. Alou in a tough spot. Has 2 stacks that are lower than his. Pay difference between fifth and third is $28,000. And Alou is going to pick a better spot, and he folds. Adopt a dog. Ryan Lang up to 14.5 million. Ryan, once again, our only bracelet winner at this final table. A final table that once again had stars. Matt Berkey made this final table, finished in 7th place. Ryan Lang has 3 circuit rings to his name and, of course, a bracelet. He won that bracelet back in 2018. That was a 1,500 no-limit hold'em bounty tournament. Has an online World Series of Poker ring. So this guy can play live, can play online, just a crusher. The real Eric Benson says, how is C. Calcano doing? Unfortunately, our man, chat favorite C. Calcano, is no longer with us. He finished in 8th place, made the final table. Jimmy Nad says, I wish I could get weed, cannabis, delivered by Norman Chad like Tuck gets his donuts. I mean, if you live in a state where marijuana is legal, don't they have delivery? I mean, we have in Los Angeles, I will tell you that there is weed delivery. I've heard. Now, this is a different dynamic, and I wonder if Ryan Lang raises here. I kind of expect him to. Yep. Earlier on, when Ryan had less chips than Samadhi, he was very happy to see a flop. But now that he's got the chip lead over Samadhi, he's going to put a little bit more pressure on him. See Calcano, by the way, in the chat. Dude, we are really, really proud of you. Well done. Well done. We love when you guys in the chat do well. You know what? Not only did Ryan Lang probably want to put pressure on his opponent because he had the chip lead, he also had pocket jacks, another good reason for it. And that was an enormously significant hand. Samadhi did himself a disservice there because he now put himself in danger of possibly being the next one to get knocked out. Obviously, he's still currently in second place, but with under 7 million chips, he does not have the cushion that he had just moments ago. And again, the pay jumps are enormous. The difference between fifth and second, 50K. Norman Chad still in the chat. Gunner Poker. Rubber Ducky, what's up, my man? Jason saying Ryan is crushing souls here and playing his spot at the table. Yeah, no doubt. Ryan just seems so comfortable. He's been here before. That experience and talent showing through. And it is certainly his bracelet to lose. While he's certainly a favorite to win, I don't know if he's a favorite against the field. Big Blind 2020 says so much poker talent in this chat. Also, there's Norman Chad. I don't know from a betting standpoint, would Ryan Lang right now be a favorite against the field to win this bracelet? Maybe even money. And maybe a slight favorite. I don't know. I mean, there's still 5 people in the tournament. I don't care how many chips you have. A lot of things can happen. I mean, if there were 3 people in the tournament, it'd be a different story. But with 5 left, I mean, does he win this more than 50% of the time right now? Okay, maybe he wins it 54% of the time. You guys in the chat are all like, Toy Story 24 says Lang's got to be a big favorite. Float in Space says definite favorite. Hey, you're my guest tonight, so I'll defer to you guys. That said, if you're going to give me the field at 2-1, I take that bet. And by the way, I like Ryan Lang. I consider him a friend. He's a good guy. Jack 3 versus 7s. Bandsman, still good. Needs to fade the river. No! A jack on the river. Okay, I'm not taking 2-1 anymore because now we're 4-handed and Ryan Lang's got 20.8 million chips. Obviously, a huge difference. Congratulations to Bandsman. Mark Bandsmer, by the way, just turned $30, a $30 satellite into $32,941. That is living the dream. King 8 versus Queen Jack. There's a queen on the turn. And Eric Shun doubles up. His stack grows bigger and bigger. Ryan Lang on 17.8 million chips, still our chip leader by heaps. I don't know, there's got to be somebody in the chat who can let me know. What do you guys think when we were 5-handed? I mean, even now, what is Ryan to win this against 3 other players? I mean, when there's 5 players remaining, it's not as simple as he's got 60% of the chips, so he's a 60% favorite to win. That's not really the case. I don't know. What's up, Cali Funk? I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Sleevey says he was minus 130 5-handed, minus 180 now. So not quite. Okay. Fair enough. Toy Story says Lang is now 68% to win it. Okay. I'll take your word for it. Again, like I said, Friday nights. The chat is my guest. Tomorrow night, we're going to get Poker Guru here. We're going to get Bustin' Balls. But tonight, it's you guys. Thank you so much. Float in Space says paging Mike McDonald. That is one sharp dude. Although I think he recently shorted Tesla. I don't know how sharp that is. We'll see. That's a scary short. By the way, shout out to the other streamers who have been following the World Series of Poker. Of course, Luigi, who has been streaming it from the get-go. He basically starts it off. Then Jeff Platt takes over about 10 p.m. Pacific time, and he hands the baton to me when we get to the final table. They've been doing an amazing job. Enjoy says, David, you are our guest. We are the internet. We are always here. Well said. Chubbs Poker says, don't ever bet against Timex. I think that is probably a really, really smart thing. That's good advice. Samadhi, Eric, involved in this one. Flop is 9 high, 2 hearts out there, 1.4 million. Three of clubs out there. Norman Chad says, Tuck does great commentary on poker. In real life, his commentary is, well, not as great. Okay, you say that, but there is going to be a PokerGo promo coming out where I'm doing commentary on something that is not poker related. And I think you'll be entertained. I commentate on my wife cooking, and I can neither confirm nor deny that she takes a pot and throws it at my head while I'm doing commentary on her cooking. That might happen, but look for it. OWCHS says Timex is drawing dead to win the free throw contest. Really? Doesn't he have like, what does he need? Like 90? Doesn't he have like 80 already? Eric is all in here. Going to get this through. 4 players, all of them guaranteed $44,000. Big shocker. We don't know anything about 3 of the 4 players. That has kind of been the case. Murphy's Law. I've got a great research staff. And when I say staff, I mean one guy. His name is Saum. He crushes it. And when there's like 25 players left, he starts doing bios. And he gets us research. He gets us info on like 19 of the 25 players. Invariably, the 5 that he has nothing on make the final table and usually are in the final 6. Big Blind 2020 says, never doubt Timex. Yeah, I wouldn't bet against him. No chance. Samadhi with the limp. Ryan Legg says, I don't think so. And Adopt a Dog raises and takes it down. As you can see, there's about 35 million chips in play. So Ryan Lang with slightly over 50%. Norman Chad says Murphy's Law needs to turn into Tuck's Law, real names, so we know who we are really looking at. Yeah, I don't know why we don't have that. I mean, I understand, the privilege of being anonymous when you're playing online poker, but that goes away because I know WSOP.com and Poker News, whoever wins this, if Samadhi wins this tonight, his name will be revealed tomorrow. So if that's the case, why not give us the names now? Saum just points out here, I know the secret. Just always bet on the players we don't know. There you go. I like it. I like it. Somebody's asking what shirt I'm wearing. I'm wearing my I Choose Tacos shirt. I know it's strong. And it's kind of always right. By the way, if you don't live in Southern California, you haven't had a good taco. I don't want to hear you tell me that the Mexican food that you have wherever you live is good. I went to upstate New York with my wife to visit her family, and her brother, my brother-in-law, raved, was like, "Oh, I've got to take you to this Mexican restaurant." And we're both rolling our eyes because we live in LA. There are certain places in the world that are just known for their food. Mexican food in Southern California crushes. General rule of thumb: go to the worst looking food truck you can find, the dingiest place you can find, and you'll probably get the best taco you've ever had in your life. Action on the blinds here. Ryan Lang says, yeah, let's play for all of it. Eric, just really, really tough for him to call off light there. With a Lou behind him on only about now 1.7 million and a $16,000 pay jump between fourth and third in real money. Just very, very tough for Eric to get involved unless he has a huge hand. Neverside says San Diego is where you find the best tacos in all of California. You know what? Listen, I'll give San Diego. Again, I'll say Southern California. J Max says Taco Bell has the best tacos. King 9 versus 10-7. Two hearts out there. River is a heart. And just like that, that Queen of Hearts like a dagger into a Lou's heart. He is gone in fourth place. Takes home $44,297. And we are down to 3. Ego Broke says, I think yours and Eric's idea of a monster hand is wildly different. Might be the case. And again, we always kind of talk about ICM and laddering up and being careful. That's just what you'd imagine would be the optimal thought process, the optimal way to play in a certain, at a certain juncture. That doesn't necessarily mean that these players are thinking that way. A question I always get asked when I'm doing commentary is, hey, what is that guy thinking when he made this play? And I'd be like, I don't know. I can't climb inside somebody's head. And I remember early on in my commentary career, I tried to. And I realized very quickly it was futile, just absolute fruitless. There was no point in trying to figure out what somebody else was thinking. Instead, I asked my guests, tonight, it's you. What's the optimal way to play this? How would you play this hand? Or, tomorrow night I'll ask Robert Kuhn, poker guru, aka Bustin' Balls. How would you play this hand? Nobody running as hot as Robert Kuhn, who is our leader in the 100K WSOP online bracelet series. Real money on the line there. I believe first place gets $18,000 bonus. That's nice. 8-6. Oh, and look at that little choppy up though. Man, is Samadhi lucky. Man, that was a monster pot. Pocket kings against Ryan Lang's flop straight. And then runner, chop. You are living a blessed life, my friend Samadhi. How that pot didn't get bigger and how Samadhi is not necessarily out right now. Huge run out. Wow. Yeah, robbed. Hood Smurf says robbed. Yeah, if you're Ryan Lang, you got to be thinking, really? I flop a straight against kings three-handed, and all I do is get my money back? That doesn't seem fair. Drider 2K says New York City has the best burger, pizza, hot dog, and bagel. I'll definitely give you bagel, and I'll definitely give you pizza. Ace Jack good here. Samadhi up to 14.4 million. Eric Shun down to 3.8 million. Blinds still 160, 320. Eric down to about 11 bigs right now. Yeah, pizza and bagels. And like I said, I'm a New York boy. Okay. Born and bred. Nobody can touch that. Pizza, bagels. And I didn't give you guys Chinese food. Chinese food in New York. Just drop the mic. Best Indian food I ever had in the UK, in London. They kill it. But don't have Mexican food in London. Oh, no, don't do that. All in here from Eric. No action. Where are you guys from? Netty111 says the best fish and chips are in the UK. You know, I thought that. And by the way, the UK has some great fish and chips, but the best fish and chips I've ever had was actually in Alaska. Samadi with the raise. Ryan Lang makes the call. There's the all in. We've got action here. There's the call. Ace Jack versus King Queen. Ace high still good, but not anymore. Eric makes the flush. That is a juicy, juicy flop for Eric Shun. He sticks it in, and his stack grows. He's up to 9 million. And Eric now up to 10 million chips. Guys, this is kind of what I was saying. Five-handed, those of you who thought Ryan Lang was like an enormous favorite, don't gamble, okay? So much stuff can happen at these final tables. Like I said, I think Ryan Lang is the best player here. I don't think that's a question. And I think he's certainly a favorite. But a favorite against the field, yeah, maybe he's 50-50. Maybe 51-49. I don't know. Right now with 12.2 million chips, is he a favorite against the field? Would you guys take Ryan Lang and give me the other two players? Float in Space says the best Mexican food is in Mexico. Now, I've been to Mexico many times, and I can tell you that I prefer Mexican food in Southern California as opposed to Mexico. Oftentimes, it's the same exact recipe, because it's a lot of Mexicans who family recipes from Mexico now live in Southern California. This is not a nationalistic thing. Like the best poutine, not in America. It's in Montreal. Pair jacks here look like they're the best hand. And they are. Ryan Lang up to 15.6 million. Eric down to 8 million. I'm such a foodie. And there are some places like Vegas. Vegas just kills it now. There's so much good food in Vegas now. It's one of my favorite things about each summer, and something I miss. Obviously, I miss all my friends that I get to see. We kind of refer to the World Series of Poker each and every summer. If you've never been, it is a blast. We refer to it as summer camp, and it's so much fun. Obviously, a lot of people live there now, but people come in from everywhere and see each other once a year in many cases. And one of my favorite things to do each and every summer is go out to all these amazing restaurants in Las Vegas with people that I might see once or twice a year. Sean Anthony says the best cheeseburger is In-N-Out. Big Blind 2020 says, Tuck, how much do you budget for the World Series? Well, I've got my poker bankroll, and then I've got, my life bankroll. So, I'm going to generally Vegas. I always rent an Airbnb each summer. I like to live, I don't want to live on the strip. So I either rent an Airbnb, or in recent years, I've actually stayed with a friend. So I usually make breakfast for myself. And I'm fortunate enough that the wonderful people at PokerGo, or in the past, it was ESPN or just a World Series of Poker, they'll feeding me lunch. So I'm only feeding myself one meal a day. So, I'll go out, have a nice dinner. I must eat sen of Japan at least 10 times every summer. Nettie111 says Gordon Ramsay steak in Vegas. That's good. I went to the steakhouse in Paris, and that was legit one of the best meals I've had. Floating Spaces Tucked. You still hang out with Bart Hansen. Bart actually recently moved to Austin, Texas. He left LA, went to Vegas, and he's now in Austin, Texas. So I don't get to hang out with him as much as I used to. But we still talk on the phone. I spoke to him at length yesterday. So Bart's certainly still one of my best friends. I've actually tried to get Bart on the stream. Unfortunately, he's an old man now, so he goes to bed. It is 4:30 in the morning in Texas. Get a raise here from Ryan Lang. No action. And we continue on three-handed. Remaining three players, all guaranteed $60,160. Once again, we started with 2,408 players, and we are down to our final three. 330 players were paid, including Chainsaw, Alan Kessler. He got the min cash of $694, but a cash nonetheless. Ryan Lang. Okay, what a boss, by the way. Ryan Lang, who's three-handed playing for a bracelet. He's in the hand. He's still chatting. Says Tuck, I live walking distance to Sen. Yeah, those people in Vegas that live in Henderson, Green Valley, I don't get it. To me, I mean, I like that area. It's fine. But if you're going to live in Vegas, how you don't live in the Summerlin Red Rock region is beyond me. Because you've got some great restaurants up there. You've got great golf courses up there, and you've got Red Rock. I mean, I don't get it. And this coming from somebody who spends, 2 months in Vegas each and every year. David Williams Poker, runner-up in the 2003 Main Event Championship. Just an all-around great guy. Still has never taught me Magic the Gathering. In the chat, apparently lives in Summerlin as well. Like I said, I mean, nothing against Green Valley and the rest of plenty of really wonderful places in Vegas. But I'm like, if you're going to live in Vegas, why not live near Red Rock? Like I said, the golf courses are up there. It's amazing. Small pot between Samadhi and Adopt a Dog. By the way, Samadhi has slipped into third place, but obviously a very fluid situation. At this point, anybody's tournament to win, that's for sure. C. Calcano. Hey, C. Calcano and DW Poker, have you guys played Magic the Gathering with each other? As I pointed out earlier, C. Calcano, who finished 8th in this tournament, is always in the chat. You guys can give him some love. He finished, let me say my record here. He finished 11th in the Magic World Championships in 2017. There's a huge crossover. A lot of people in the Magic world also play poker and have found success in it. 1.6 million in the pot. Ryan checking back that 9 high flop. Does he take a shot at it here, though? He does. That's 1.1 million. Gets called. Clubs get there. Jack 10 was already there. Samadhi check called the turn. And now he's facing a 2.7 million chip bet. It's a hefty sizing from Ryan Lang. And oh ho ho! More gamesmanship from Lang earlier on. He showed 7 high. This time he shows 4s. What a beast. Ryan Lang, by the way, in the chat, give him some love. Atmosphere says, officially rooting for Ryan Lang after that show. Pair of sevens, good here. Both players, in all likelihood, thought they had showdown value. No need to bluff at it in that spot. Sometimes having a little piece of the flop, or having a pair that's big enough where you think you have showdown value, forcing you not to bluff at it, actually ends up costing you the pot. For those of you who have played poker, you know what I'm talking about. It's like, you hit something on the river and you're like, well, now I've got showdown value. Maybe I'm good. And if you didn't hit that card, you probably would have bluffed at it. Maybe gotten your opponent to fold. Poo Dog Melissa in there. What's up, Poo Dog? Melissa says, Ryan Lang was not fun to play against tonight. Is he ever fun to play against? I mean, is there a night where you're like, oh, yeah, cool, Ryan Lang's at my table. Awesome. 10-9 there versus the Queen 8. Backdoor hearts. Eric Shun is deflated. His stack goes limp, and he is out in third place. He'll take home $60,161. You see what I did there, Eric? I got the last laugh there. You're gone in third place, though. Congratulations. $60,161. We're heads up for a bracelet. Ryan Lang with an overwhelming chip lead here, a 4-1 chip advantage. Playing for his second bracelet. He won his first one back in 2018. He's already won an online circuit event. Can he close this out? And this thing might not last long. Blinds are 200,000, 400,000. Samadi does not have a lot of chips. And the players who were 1-2 in chips are still 1-2, although it's reversed. Samadi was our chip leader at the start of this final table. Ryan Lang had seat position on him. He was on his left. Samadi deciding to limp on the button. Certainly makes sense, I think, on this stack depth to have a limping range on the button. What's up, Ghost of M? Quadman77, JMac90, thanks so much for joining us. Once again, it's Samadi versus Adopt a Dog. Adopt a Dog is Ryan Lang. Looking for bracelet number 2. He's got some commentator run good. He joined us a few days ago, and here he is. 8-7, no good. 5-deuce is good. Adopt a Dog now on 31.7 million chips. Samadi down below 4 million. He's all in. Lang folds. Samadi on just about 12 big blinds right now. MJG, Mijig 91680 says Black Booth Mojo is back. Yeah, the Black Booth has long been gone. I missed that. But the Mojo's still here. Ryan Lang looking for bracelet number 2. Glad I didn't bet you guys. I think Ryan Lang is a favorite now, by the way. I'm just going to go out and say it. Master handicapper here, okay? Queen is good. Look at all that money on the table. Every time I see the money, I get excited. Enjoy says, can you make a deal on a World Series of Poker final table? No, the World Series of Poker does not facilitate any deals. What somebody might do, in the hallways of the Rio is up to them. But the World Series of Poker does not facilitate any deals. And online, obviously, nearly impossible. JC Harris, he knows what I'm talking about. He says that money looks so real, right? Getty's Poker says, that's real money, right? Yep. Was that everybody's favorite stream, by the way, when I had Jungle Man on? If that was your favorite stream, put a 1 in there. If it was not your favorite stream, put a 2. Atmospherist loves it. J-Mac with the 3. Stray Cat with the 1. King Queen. Oh, there's the ace, the heart. No. And we continue on here. That's a big pot. No surprise, all the money went in. Much better flop for Ryan Lang. Unfortunately, that turn eliminated 6 of his outs. And now Samadhi on 14.3 million, adopted dog Ryan Lang on 20.4 million. He's got more work to do. And with that big double up from Samadhi, he's actually got a little bit of play now. I mean, the blinds are 200,000, 400,000 for another 10 minutes. I mean, we're not deep, but, for a heads-up match, we're not short by any stretch. Jimmy Nad says, McKeon was better than I thought he'd be. He was great. Yeah, no. Joe McKeon actually reached out. He's the one who wanted to do some commentary, and he was amazing. Joe is I now have a dirty dozen. I had an 11. Now I have 12 people who always are welcome in my commentary booth, and Joe McKeon is on that list. Big Blind 2020 says, we want more McKeon. I'll see what I can do. Like I said, we've got some good guests lined up. Tomorrow night, we've got Poker Guru, Bustin' Balls, a.k.a. Robert Kuhn. He'll be joining us tomorrow night. Monday night, I've got Chris Moorman, 888 Poker Ambassador, online legend with over 20 million and a bracelet to his name. Made a final table a few days ago. He'll be joining us on Monday. And then Maria Ho just signed off, and she is going to be here for our last stream of the WSOP.com bracelet events, July 31st, the 1K final. Maria Ho will be here. Drider 2K says, how about Poppy? Joey Ingram, we had him. He joined us for the PLO, the great game. Oh, that's awesome. MJG says, Chris Moorman is sleeping on the couch tonight. Apparently he knocked out Lindsay from the 215. Yeah, his wife, Lindsay, is a poker player as well. Pair of deuces here. Good for Ryan Lang. He's back up to 23 million. A little bit less than a 2-to-1 chip advantage for our man, Ryan Lang, in the chat right now. Josh Townsend Poker says, what about Solve for Why Christian Soto or Sean Deeb? I can definitely try. Sean Deeb is a lot tougher. I love Deeb. I had him on my podcast about a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago. MJ Sydney says, Phil Ivey is on now. He just doesn't speak. True story. Phil Ivey is actually my guest tonight. So what do you think about this, Phil? I mean, the dynamic at this final table, it's heads up. Ryan Lang with the experience, a 2-to-1 chip lead. Yeah. Wow, it's amazing. Really. Guys, this is just gold. Make sure somebody is recording this. Phil Ivey is the one player I have never had in the commentary booth, and in all likelihood, I never will. Les Paul Jeff says, I'd pay money to see Tuck interview Mike the Mouth. I actually had, Mattisau has done commentary with me. He and JRB, Jean-Robert Bellon, stumbled into the black booth probably 5-6 years ago. Both were, it was late at night. Both had a few drinks. And keeping that train on the tracks, so to speak, was probably one of the most challenging jobs I've ever had. Thank you, Dog Guy 09. I appreciate it. Ace 5 versus Ace 9. Probably another situation where both players thought, I've got an ace high. I've got some showdown value. Unfortunately for Samadi, the 10 played and Adopt a Dog back to a 2.5 to 1 chip advantage. Real Eric Benson says, ooh, JRB of Survivor fame. JRB is actually one of the more entertaining personalities in the poker world. Stray Cat says, I would pay for Tuck not to interview the mouth. This is good. It looks like I'm gonna get paid no matter what. Cool. I'm just waiting for somebody to slow roll the mouth. I mean, it has to happen, right, guys? It has to. I mean, this World Series of Poker will not be complete unless somebody slow rolls the mouth. By the way, I'm going to caution all of you out there who are thinking you can VPN the GG Poker thing. Apparently, it's not quite as easy as you might have thought it was. I know GG Poker might have had a reputation for like looking the other way when it comes to VPNing. Apparently, it's not as easy. I just want to caution any of you out there. It's hard enough as it is to win these events. I'd hate for you to win it and then not get paid. So, just my 2 cents. Chubbs Poker says, get Bill Perkins in the booth. That would be fun. I would love to. The only thing is, if I had Bill Perkins in the booth, I just would want to talk to him about everything not poker related. So I don't know if it would make for a great live stream. I mean, he's such an interesting guy. And I feel like he has so much to offer. King 3 versus King Deuce. Let's chop it up. Ryan Lang, by the way, back to almost a 4 to 1 chip advantage. So he got Samadi down to about 4 million chips. Samadi kind of clawed his way back into it, then doubled up with the Ace 8 versus King Queen of Hearts. Adopt a Dog was a hard away from winning a second bracelet. It didn't come. And it looked like we were going to have a match again. I mean, Samadi had 14 million chips. Lang was down to about 20. We got an all-in here. But ever since that all-in, it's pretty much been all Ryan Lang. Les Paul Jeff says, oh gosh, Locke or Esfandiari would be great, but not together at the same time. Tuck wouldn't get to talk. That's okay. I know this is going to come as a surprise to many of you in the chat. But, and maybe this would be different 10, 12, 15 years ago in my career. But at this point, I am well aware of the fact that you guys listen to my voice too much. If I get a really great guest in the booth, or if I get 2 really great guests in the booth, the one thing that I have learned is let them talk, please. If I had Phil Locke and Antonio in the booth, awesome, cool. I'll introduce the show. I'll introduce them. Then I'll close the show. That's all that has to happen. Josh Townsend says, how about Dan Blazarian? I mean, if you're talking about Jamie Kerstetter, who's online, whose World Series of Poker name is Dan Blazarian, I'm all over it. Quadman 77, I appreciate the thought nonetheless. But yeah, no, I'm all for it, man. Like when we get Joe McKeon on, or please, I want to hear them too. I'm a fan. You know, I'm a poker player and I'm a fan of the game. If we get somebody in the booth who's amazing, I want to hear it. Get a little value bet here from Ryan Lang, maybe. Small bet. With this sizing, he could certainly be betting 2 pair. Doesn't necessarily need a straight. We get a raised though from Samadi. Now this needs to be pretty much a straight or nothing. He's not doing this with 2 pair. And I think you can make the argument that he's not doing it even with a 5. It pretty much is a 10 or nothing. 4.5 million in there, and Samadi's raise gets through. He's back at the 10.8 million. I will tell you, one of my favorite commentary sessions, one of my favorite shows I've ever done was the big one for One Drop many years ago. Dan Coleman, Jonathan Duhamel at the final table. Eventually, Jonathan Duhamel ended up winning it. Coleman put on a show, though. He was just so dominant, and it was clear he was the best player at the table. It wasn't close. Doesn't mean that he's going to win that night, but he was clearly the best player at the table. And in the booth with me was Jason Somerville and Scott Severs. I mean, what can you say, right? Just an unbelievable day for, I think, all the fans out there. Because Scott Seaver, I mean, how often is he in the commentary booth at all? So the fact that we got him in, and then with Jason Somerville, it was awesome. It was, you guys can, I don't even know if it's still archived somewhere. It was the big one for One Drop that Jonathan Duhamel won. For any of you guys who saw it, you might be able to look at it. Josh Townsend says, because I actually prefer Kerstetter. I was joking about Dan. I figured you were. It's all good. Slavey 98, you can't go to bed. We're almost there, man. Stick with us. MJ Sidney says, what about Garrett Adelstein? Garrett would be a great get. I mean, he's such an interesting guy as well. Of course, if those of you don't know, Garrett is kind of famous for his live at the bike cash game play, just a cash game crusher. Josh Townsend says Garrett would be the nuts. Yeah, could be. Dig Dug, enjoying the stream. I appreciate that, man. We're going to see if we can get, I don't want to jinx it, if Ryan wins, we're going to see if we can get him on. For those of you who want to get our guests, now we tried to get Ryan DePaulo on, and we reached out to him, and then we just couldn't hear from him. And at some point, the studio in Vegas has to call the shots. And they just go, yep, okay, we're going to pull the plug. But it's not quite as simple as just getting somebody on, just so you guys are aware of that. We would love to get the winner on each and every night. But if we don't have the winner's information and we're on a 2-minute delay, it becomes a little bit more difficult. In this case, Ryan was on our show already, so we have his information. He's in the chat, and he said he wants to do it. Makes it a lot easier. Rec Gambler says, where did my boy Berkey finish? Matt Berkey finished in 7th place. He took home $18,637. He was ahead until the river. He had ace-10 versus king-queen. And unfortunately for him, on a jack-9 flop, he hit his pair of 10s on the river, thus completing his opponent's gut shot, thus knocking him out. So, Daniel Negreanu on a tear. Before today, he had finished in the top 32 4 straight times. Did not have as deep a run today, but he did cash in this event. Ryan LaPlante, by the way, just crushing it. 14 cashes. Roland Israel Ashvili cashed today. Robert Kuhn, Art Vandelay, Jonathan Dockler, Kevin McPhee, all cashed. I mentioned Jason Somerville. He cashed in this. Haterade. Joe McKeon, you guys talked about him. He cashed in this. Joe McKeon, of course, won his 3rd bracelet earlier this series. Big Blind 2020 talking about podcasts. Says the Mike Postle, Mike Matisow podcast was so weird. Yeah. Weird's a word for it. That's for sure. No doubt. SW Weeb says, is Daniel Negreanu on the player of the series leaderboard? I believe he is currently 22nd, last I checked. So somewhere in there, like top 25. I mean, he's had a ton of cashes, a couple of deep runs, but no final table. So it's going to be tough for him to obviously go way ahead. Ryan LaPlante also a ton of cashes, but with no final tables. I believe he's like 16th, somewhere around there. Currently 1-2 on that list is tomorrow night's guest, the one and only, Bustin' Balls, Poker Guru, Robert Kuhn. He'll be joining us tomorrow night here. So make sure you tune in, twitch.tv/WSOP. Or, of course, you can watch us on YouTube or Facebook. I do follow the chat, though, on Twitch, just so you know. And in second place is, I'm sorry, Ryan Torgerson. Ryan Torgerson now with a first, a second, and a third place finish. So pretty amazing. Big Blind says McKeon is also a world champion of Risk. Is there such a thing? Because I crush Risk. I mean, if Joe McKeon is going to say that he's better at Risk than me, I feel like I need to play, right? We're back. Let's get into it. Ryan Lang folds. Samadhi up to 10.4 million. Blind still 200,000, 400,000. They are going up in 30 seconds. 1.7 million in there. Any hand could be the hand. A bet and a call. King of Hearts on the turn. Pot is now 2.7 million. Chubbs Poker says it was in Joe McKeon's bio when he won the main. I feel like he was trolling. I mean, doesn't that sound like something Joe McKeon would do? I mean, is there, I don't even know. You guys can let me know. Is there such a thing as a Risk World Championship? I mean, I feel like Risk is kind of a game that's like, it's almost solved, right? Irate Pirate says he's a Monopoly pro. I think that's one of my favorite things that I'm looking forward to. And I already, of having 2 kids. My 7-year-old is starting to play games with me, which is really cool. But just having somebody that will play games with me is pretty awesome. Big pot here. Spades get there. Obviously, there's a straight out there, a couple of straights out there. Samadhi check called both the flop and the turn. And now he's facing a nearly 4 million chip bet. This is an enormous pot, and he folds. Ryan Lang back up to 27.8 million. Samadhi down to 8 million. Blinds now 250, 500. Suddenly Samadhi down to under 20 bigs. King high flop. Norman Chad. Okay, you know what? Well played. Norman Chad says, yeah, Tuck, if you are really good at Risk, I guess then it must mean it's almost solved. Okay, well played. I'll give you that one. Hey, Norman, I didn't catch the baseball scoreboard today. How did the Pirates do? Huh? Yeah. Ryan Lang all in. Ryan Lang back up 27. Back and forth these two go as they battle. Ryan Lang looking for his second bracelet in 3 years. Samadhi looking for his first one, we think. We don't know who he is. That could be Phil Ivey, for all I know. Oh, no, it's not Phil Ivey, because I forgot Phil Ivey's in the booth with me. He's doing commentary. Phil, what do you think about this heads-up match? Yeah. Thank you. No, stop. Stop. You flatter me. Really? Wow. It's amazing. Phil Ivey, folks. Let's give him a hand. $1.1 million in there. Check, check on the flop. 9 pairs. Deuce of hearts on the river. Seems like both players fairly content to get the showdown. I mean, you have to imagine that Ryan's got some showdown value here. With that chip lead, you would have thought he would, at some point, take a shot at it. Yeah, Jack 7. There it is. That makes a ton of sense. And I love the way Ryan played that hand. Phil, what do you think? Yeah. Yeah, Phil thinks that Ryan Lang played that hand like a boss. He would have played it the same way. Now, you check back the 7, checks it back twice, has showdown value, and then bet. And I think, that was something you've got to realize. If the chip leader, if Ryan Lang in this position is not taking a shot at it on the flop or the turn, he probably has showdown value. And then if he's going to bet, it just doesn't make much sense that he would take that line as a bluff, right? There's an all-in. Ace-9 versus Queen-10. There's a queen. Oh, wow, we've got a draw here. We got a straight draw, flush draw. And the flush gets there, and Samadhi, overkill. The queen was already good. Ryan Lang had outs. The 6 of clubs certainly wasn't one of them. And we continue. We're going to be here all night, all morning. Good morning to you on the East Coast, if you're waking up to this glorious live stream. Good afternoon to you if you're in Europe. GT Robot 3000 says, solve for why I am not in bed. I mean, keep in mind, you can watch this in bed. People have told me in an awkward way, we got a raise, we got a 3-bet here. Hold the phone. All in. All in. Oh, 4s versus kings. Oh, no, Samadhi. Do the kings hold? They do. We've got a new sheriff in town here. It's Samadhi with 23.5 million. Ryan Lang down to 12. The tables have turned. Pair versus pair on about a 22 big blind stack. Yeah, V-Rob says, watching in bed, Tuck. Let's go. All in. There's a fold. Yeah, I've had couples tell me in an awkward way. They're like, yeah, we're in bed. I'm in bed with my girlfriend. I'm in bed with my wife, and we fall asleep to your voice, which is really scary when I think about it. There you go. Face Lace says, I am watching from New Zealand in bed on a Saturday night. What time is it in New Zealand right now? Like 10 p.m.? Samadhi came into this final table as the chip leader. Ryan Lang at points was absolutely dominating. Had about a 8.5 to 1 chip lead at one point. Samadhi kind of crawled his way back, doubled up. Then Ryan took a bigger lead again. Samadhi doubles up again. Ryan has already had Samadhi all in 3 times with a chance to win the bracelet, and he has lost all 3. The first time was King Queen of Hearts versus Ace 8. The second time was Ace 9 versus Queen 10. And the third time, obviously, we just saw Pocket 4s versus Pocket Kings. Jim Flo says, I'm having a bagel in the Bronx. Oh, I am so jealous. I would give a limb for a bagel. Not my limb, but like Norman Chad's like left leg. I would cut off Norman Chad's left leg for a New York bagel right now. Yeah, Norman Chad was on the stream a couple of weeks ago. We only go to him if we absolutely are desperate. Nathan Gamble pulled off what is now known as the Nathan Gamble. If you get booked for commentary, but have to cancel because you make the final table of that event and then win it, you have just done what is called the Nathan Gamble. By the way, Nathan Gamble put a tweet out there, a great video, where he received this bracelet, and his dogs were really excited about it. Pair 5's good here. Lang crawling back, fighting back at 12.5 million. Anyway, so when Nathan Gamble had to cancel, Norman Chad graciously accepted and joined us. Master Chess says, everybody, let's go out for a bagel while Tuck is stuck here. I don't consider myself stuck. I'm really happy here. And frankly, I live in LA, so there are really no great bagels here. I'm not going out for a bagel in LA. But a New York bagel, oh, man. Fortunately, I can get a good corned beef and pastrami sandwich here in LA. Langer's in downtown LA is a great sandwich. In fact, Norm Langer, who I believe's dad started that. maybe it was his grandfather, but I think it was his dad. Norm Lang was actually an avid poker player. I used to play stud and stud 8 with him. Irate Pirate says Langer's is the nuts. Yeah, no, it is legit. You know, when you think of like a good corned beef pastrami sandwich, you think New York, right? And frankly, 9 out of 10 times, maybe even 99 out of 100 times, you're going to be right. But Langer's is legit. Bodie says Tuck doesn't know what a real cheesesteak tastes like. Well, bring me one. True story. Last summer, I was doing commentary, and I kept asking Ali Najad for a good Philly cheesesteak. He never brought it, but my boss, Hall of Famer, one of my favorite guys, not only in poker but in the world, Maury Escondani, my boss brought me a Philly cheesesteak sandwich while I was doing commentary. And apparently we've lost the stream for a second here. Don't go anywhere. It's going to come right back. I promise you. My producer, Aiden, is on it. Hopefully we won't miss the last hand. Saum says, no top-notch bagels in Vegas. It's very difficult for me. I get it, man. I hear you. I hear it. Okay, we're back. Don't do that to me, Aiden. You're scaring me, man. We can't miss the last hand. We pick up the action here on the turn. 10 of diamonds. Very wet board, by the way. Straight draws, flush draws, everything going on. No! Stop that. Ryan Lang bets $3.5 million and takes it down. No more. Don't do that again. 3:11 in the morning. We've been waiting for this moment. We can't miss it. Ryan Lang doing a great job. He is facing adversity. Can he get back in it? Can he win his second bracelet, or will it be Samadhi's night? For those of you who think I'm cheering for Ryan, I know Ryan. He's done commentary with me. I just don't know who Samadhi is. I mean, I'm happy for both of these players. They're both guaranteed $82,000. It's a good night for them both. Yeah, SC Weeb says, I want a breakfast bagel. The more I talk about it, the more I want it. I mean, Norman Chad has really come through. He's been delivering me donuts on a weekly basis, which has been great. But I think I would pay $100 for a New York bagel right now, like a legit New York bagel. I don't want some place that's in LA called New York Bagel, because it's not. Coming back with a vengeance. That's right, Rubber Ducky. I mean, Ryan Lang's not gonna, go quietly into the night. He's not gonna go away quietly. He's gonna fight. He's fighting for a bracelet here, and don't forget, he's also playing $51,000. $51,000. Oh, Free Lace says I wouldn't mind a steak and cheese pie. You guys are speaking to me. Like a good, I love the savory. I love savory pies, like chicken pot pies. I had a mac and cheese pot pie once. That was really good. Oh, I'm so hungry right now. Who wants to go to a diner after this? That's very East Coast, for those of you who don't know. But right now, how good does a diner sound right now? Somebody have quad tens? Pot is 4.2 million. $3.1 million. There's the call. Oh my gosh. Got everything. Samadhi just had everything. I don't know if Ryan had the other queen, or did he call him with a 6, or did you call him with ace high? I don't know. Ryan, what'd you call him with? Blind still 250, 500. So Ryan Lang's still on, 18 and a half big blinds. Norman Chad says, New Jersey diners are sublime. Yeah, there's something about New Jersey, New York diners. It's a thing. They're open 24 hours. You go out, go in there, have like pancakes at like 3 in the morning. Pretty amazing. Hearts don't get there. Backdoor spades do. Pot is 2.1 million. Ryan Lang in a much different situation than he was in just about 20, 30 minutes ago. Now a 3-1 chip deficit. Samadhi now all in. The backdoor spades I just mentioned, are they relevant here? Is that what he has? Certainly what he's repping. I mean, it'd be pretty sick if he turned like... Problem is, I mean, if he had the ace of spades, he's got an ace, so he's probably just going to call. I mean, I guess he could turn the king of spades into a bluff, but either way, Samadhi does not get looked up. Now with a 4-1 chip advantage. Neverside says, I'm craving Eggs Benedict now. Great. Oh, Eggs Benedict's one of my favorites as well. You know where I used to go for Eggs Benedict all the time? So Vegas, obviously, I've been there a million times. It's basically my home away from home. The Bellagio Diner, their Eggs Benedict is really good. I'm kind of surprised that Samadhi let Ryan get the showdown there with a queen. I'm not saying that the Bellagio Eggs Benedict is the best Eggs Benedict. I'm not going to come out and say that. I'm just saying it's a solid one. If you're in Vegas, I haven't had it in a while, by the way. So it might have changed, but Aria has a good Eggs Benedict. They have an Eggs Benedict where you can get all sorts of weird stuff on it too. Bloody Mary also. Okay, you guys commentate. I'm going to go make myself some breakfast. Thanks for joining us here. World Series of Poker Online Bracelet Series. This is event number 24. A bracelet awarded each and every day in the month of July. We have 7 more to go. $400 no limit hold'em 8 max started with 2,408 players. We're heads up for the bracelet. The 2 players that came into the final table as the chip leader continue 1-2. C. Calcano says, I need Hash House back in my life. You know what? Hash House, though, every summer it drives me insane because Hash House decides, yeah, we need to close. No, you don't. Why are you closed? At 2 in the morning, they're closed. They should be open 24 hours a day during the World Series of Poker and then just close in the month of July. Well, Jack 10, open-ended straight draw, didn't get there, but nice to have the Jack of Diamonds, as he does get there on that one. And Ryan trying to fight back up to 10 million. Misclick says, Hash House dinner is sneaky good. Yeah, I have no doubt. But why do they close? I mean, I just imagine they don't like money. I mean, think about the World Series of Poker at the Rio, right? How many poker players walk by Hash House at midnight, 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning? How many of those players would sit down and have eggs and pancakes? It's the food stream here at twitch.tv/WSOP. Players started with 15,000 chips. They're now 25 million, 8.5 million. Well, this pot's 5.1 million. This is a big pot. Oh, all in. Oh. And Ryan Lang has to fold. Back to a 4-1 chip lead for Samadhi. Ryan just cannot get that double up. Lankar in the chat. Love Lankar. And that is going to do it. King on the flop. I look at the chat and I do that. 9s versus a King 8. And unfortunately for Ryan Lang, he will finish in second place, but a great run. Ryan Lang, thank you for joining us in the chat. Congratulations to you. Obviously, I know you're disappointed right now. $82,440 in the bag for him. and adds another final table to his poker resume. He's having a great summer. Obviously, a great poker player. And when it was all said and done, Samadi, of all people, win the bracelet. $133,000 in the bag for Samadi. Don't know anything about him. Wish I did. Unfortunately, that's how it goes sometimes. I want to thank you, all of my guests, Gunner Poker, Hakalugi, Isley Swade, Killer Queen, JC Harris, Rhino Ryan, 89. Thank you for joining us, guys. Phil Ivey, I want to thank you for joining us, too. It's been just astounding, the knowledge you have been able to drop here on this live stream. Thank you, Phil. Yeah. Yeah. No, you're the best, my man. No, you're the best. Thank you, guys. We do appreciate it. We are back at it tomorrow, and joining us is Bustin' Balls Poker Guru, aka Robert Kuhn, who has been on absolute fire. He is our guest tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, we've got the $500 No Limit Hold'em Summer Saver. If you want to play in that event, you just need to be in Nevada, be in New Jersey. The tournament starts at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Make sure you get in on that action. Of course, you can watch Luigi, who will be streaming earlier on. Jeff Platt will be doing it at 10 p.m. And then the final table will be here on YouTube, Facebook, and of course at twitch.tv/WSOP. For everybody at PokerGo, for everybody at the World Series of Poker, for Phil Ivey, for all of you, I'm David Tuchman. Good night and goodbye.